Does Germany still has like Nazis or right wing, or are they calling Nazis just people that don't want immigration?
The immigrants are in Germany to make Germany an Islamic state.
In 2023, foreigners made up 15% of Germany's population, but accounted for 41% of all violent crime suspects, with 75% of the victims being Germans. As Germany is the third largest host of refugees, hosting over 2.5 million.
I'm living in the UK, and it's not like that actually, even though the Muslim population is pretty big in Germany, the situation there is more, in control, like that everything is fine, although the like a lot of immigrants there is somehow less crime.
Refugees, with almost half of all Germans believing refugees are no longer welcome, placing their hopes and their votes in the nationalist, anti-immigrant, far-right AfD party, causing them to win a regional election in the state of Thuringia, and to make history as the first far-right political party to win in Germany since the Nazis in World War II.
So there is a group that basically don't want immigrants, so the easiest solution is just to say, hey, you're a Nazi, that's it.
Germany
they are fucking fascists.
Fascists?
Yeah.
Nazi-Schweine! Nazi-Schweine! Nazi-Schweine!
It became a beast, and we are not really able to stop it anymore. And people just think about it, how it all went when fascist Germany rose. Yeah, and I'm afraid that it will happen again.
As many Germans...
It's like one side is saying, hey, the immigration is not good for us, not for the economic, not good for like crime rates, raping went high. And the other side is saying only one thing: racists, Nazis, swine, pigs. It's kind of, you can see maybe who is in the right, who got more like good arguments.
Germans believe their national identity is being destroyed, their generosity exploited, their culture degraded, and their country no longer safe as they mass import economic migrants and refugees into their country. Other Germans are fearful they're witnessing the rise of the Fourth Reich, as AfD politicians were caught meeting with neo-Nazi activists discussing their
This is bad.
master plan to deport millions of migrants from their country.
So they really met up with Nazis to talk with them about how to deport migrants, like immigrants, because sounds like bullshit to me.
Causing mass protests across Germany, calling for a complete ban of what is now Germany's second strongest party, labeling them and their supporters neo-Nazis.
The AfD regularly rejects accusations of extremism, but the BBC has found clear links between significant party figures.
There's only one Islam, and this is what is dangerous for Europe, and it's not at all compatible to our values. Not at all.
I believe all religions are same, and there should be, brotherhood.
Not all religions are the same. When you got the only thing that is the same, if they got like same extreme people that are extreme Jewish, extreme Muslim, extreme whatever. This is the only thing that is not the same. Like it is the same, but I mean it's only worse. I can't say it on YouTube. So one of the religions. All of the religions that you know, one of them, when is like really extremist, could be really bad, okay? I mean, not everybody, but it just comes down to history, I guess.
Before I go to a protest organized by Pegida, an organization opposed to mass migration and the Islamization of the West, with a counter-protest organized by Antifa right next door, what does the liberal city of Berlin think about the migrants in Germany and the rise of the so-called far-right? Where are you from?
I'm from India.
Came here for work?
No, I'm a student.
Was it difficult to come to school here?
No, of course not.
Easy?
Yeah,
Let me guess, this is an immigrant and he's against immigrants, right?
Do you think Germany is letting too many immigrants in?
Yeah.
There you go.
What are your thoughts on the
always like
AfD
that.
party?
Oh, this is very bad.
Only an immigrant will ask another immigrant, where are you from? Where are you from?
for the foreign people. Very, very bad.
Tell me your thoughts on that.
This is really, you feel that they are very racist and they are so radical. For Germany, it's not good. And this is so bad image for Germany.
I'm from Thuringia, so...
Okay, so that's where they won the election.
Yeah, that's right.
Were you happy that day or unhappy?
No, nobody in my friend circle or family circle was happy about it. And the rise of the populist parties is a big problem, not even in Thuringia, but the whole of Europe, I would say.
Too many immigrants here?
Yeah.
Do you think you're a hypocrite for thinking that?
No, I don't think so.
Are you the exception?
No, I guess no.
I'm coming here from Tunisia for 30 years, and Germany, it's changed now. Yes, they changed, so they don't like foreign people. That, but on the same time, they need a worker. This is a big problem for maybe the.
This is an argument where, like, everybody is saying they need more workers, but not all of them are working. Not all of the immigrants are working, and you know how Germany was before 2005, before 2006. It was. I'm not sure it's a good argument.
Government, because they accepting a lot of refugee, but the refugee, why? Because they have no language. But if you say 2 years, you stay here and you get money and you don't work, this is a big lose for the country.
I think they are a little bit racist.
Blaming the country.
Why do you think the alt-right and the AfD is on the rise?
Migration. I think people getting Germans and so getting annoyed by migration.
It's a populist party. It's a party that just doesn't really have any politics or any real plans for Germany. That's my opinion, at least.
Sure.
And they use not only scapegoats, it's just what populism does, just quick answers to complex questions.
According to Google, 14% of the population right now in Germany is immigrant population or of immigrant background.
I think it's higher.
Higher? Let's call it 14 or higher.
Yeah.
And roughly 40% of the crimes are committed by that 14%. Why do you think that is? And is that a reason for concern?
Well, that still leaves 60% of crime on nationals, right? So it's absolutely, if just by numbers, it's more local people, let's call it that. I mean, of course, it's a cause of concern, but I don't think the cause of concern or the answer is shutting out immigrants.
They're a populist right-wing party that are trying to destroy our democracy.
Okay, tell me more.
Most importantly, I think they threaten to undermine the trust that people have in our democratic institutions, especially young people. I'm very concerned about that, especially with the recent studies done on like the Shell-Jugendstudie and stuff, where we see already the very negative effects that populism has had on their outlook on democracy and the future.
Do you think Germany has an obligation to bring in refugees?
I think Germany has an obligation as any Western rich country.
What are your thoughts on immigration here in Germany?
I think it's less of a problem than we make it look sometimes. I think there are great opportunities in immigration, but I also think that we need to be careful in how we approach it because the topic is already so partially poisoned in public discourse.
Do you think immigrants have an obligation to build and uplift their own community rather than leaving and fleeing to countries like Germany, let's say?
That's an obligation for politics and politicians. Politics, of course, that's also something that I think nowadays it's being forgotten. Politics, they come from the people.
Where are you from?
I'm from Iran.
How do you like Germany?
I love it. I love Berlin, not the whole Germany.
Where have you been treated differently here in Germany?
In Rostock.
What was the experience?
They were like, you're not welcome here. You're not one of us. Like, what are you doing here? And then it made me go crazy because I found myself being aggressive, like around people, and I was like, hey, it's not me, but yeah, it changed me.
And does Muslim culture integrate well into Germany from what you've seen?
No. It's important to say it's because of German country.
German's fault?
It's not a
Why
thing
always
fault,
blame on Germany?
I think it's one of those things.
Does Germany have an obligation?
I didn't saw any immigrant that came to like European country and adopt. Basically, it means to lose the religion. I didn't saw. So it's like, and in the UK, there are a lot of like, not a lot, like there is part of the immigrants that, you know, a lot of people like moving to the UK and not other countries because they know a bit of English. So they move here because they already know English. They won't bother to learn German, like part of immigrants, you know. I wouldn't do that. Like I don't want to move to Germany and then learning like German, like it's another language. So, but I mean, doing the, like moving to another country, I'll still try to adapt. I mean, maybe I would have learned a bit German, but I think that religion is a big thing here because it's hard to say, hey, this person has a religion and he is adapting to be German, because when you still have like a religion, I mean, when you are like, all I'm saying is when you're looking at it from the outside, if you're like have a religion that is not European and then you're coming into Germany or other country, in the eye of the local, it's hard for him to see you as becoming German. It doesn't matter what you do. You can hold like a German hot dog, but it's still going to be pork, so you won't eat the hot dog.
And modify themselves to accommodate them, or vice versa?
I would say neither. I think cultures, and we can see, for example, in the UK. The UK is a way more integrated or diverse culture.
This is because of the
Many
language.
people call them racist and they're undermining democracy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so too, yeah.
Why do you think they're gaining popularity right now?
Because they provide easy solutions for difficult problems, but the solutions are not really that simple.
You see, in Germany we don't have so big problems. We are a rich country with many people, but for me, we come from South Germany. The world is okay.
Life is good?
The life is good, yeah.
At the end of the day, you go touch grass, smell the flowers, life is good. Germany, I see no fentanyl addicts, no trash cans on fire. The city is peaceful, let's be honest. There's not a fraction of the problems I've seen in major US cities here in Germany, but anything's possible. Before I go to Dresden, I headed to Erfurt in the state of Thuringia, where the AfD won the state's elections after receiving 30.5%. Can I interview you? Interview? Deutsch? What are your thoughts on Pegida?
Pegida, genau. Ich gehe zu Pegida.
What are your thoughts on Muslim immigrants in Germany?
Oh, no.
Why?
Nix, also Islam habe ich nichts am Hut. Das wird mir zu hot, das wird mir zu kriminell. Braucht man nicht. Braucht eigentlich keiner. Wir sind christlich geprägt und so soll es bleiben.
So this is like obvious. He's going to further cities, which they are not Berlin, and they less tolerate to immigrants.
And even the head says, no, there's only one Islam, and this is what is dangerous for Europe, and it's not at all compatible to our values. Not at all.
Okay.
So there's a German politician who has been saying in the 60s or 70s, he says, you don't save Calcutta. If you bring whole Calcutta to your country, then your country becomes Calcutta.
Do you think their culture will replace German culture?
Exactly. They call it integration, but integration
I know
for me is
this
a big lie.
argument.
Because integration, when you see the word, means that you integrate somebody and he brings a bit of his with to your culture. I prefer what we call assimilation. When they come here, they need to assimilate to our culture. Then they are welcome. I don't mind people from Syria, from Afghanistan or wherever. I don't care at all about skin colors. You can't do anything about it. You've been born white or yellow or black or whatever. But they have to assimilate to our culture, to our values.
I can agree with
What are
that.
your thoughts to some of these counter-protesters who may say you're like racist, neo-Nazi, xenophobic, those sorts of
This is
things?
the only thing
I
they
always
can
ask
say.
them, give me one proof that I'm racist. I've even got my best man for my wedding is a Turkish guy. He's Muslim. I've got so many friends, black friends from everywhere.
Okay, secret question. Was the photo of you as Hitler doctored? Is that Photoshop?
Yeah, it was Photoshop.
Straight up Photoshop?
Even the press
They didn't know
brought
it's him.
maybe 2 months.
While Lutz's extensive criminal background prior to his role as an actor, we keep getting asked if we're left-wing or right-wing. People are very quick
those
to throw us in a partisan
protests are
bucket here. What are your thoughts on
everywhere in
Pegida?
Europe.
They are fascists.
Fascists?
Yeah,
Are they Nazis?
totally, yes.
Okay. What are the main problems you have with Pegida?
Actually, you can hear it all in just their name. They're like patriotic European people against Muslims.
Okay.
So, yeah, and all their banners and flags also show their opinion, like the Reichsflagge, which was used by the Kaiserreich and by the Nazis.
What if they said like, yo, we just want the borders to be safe and less immigrants? Is that cool or no?
That's not cool. No, they are coming from places where there's war or bad economy, so you can't live there, and everybody has the right to have a peaceful life.
I think it's important for society that they support basic human rights and everyone can live on this planet, but they say things about people that's not okay. If
Why they are
people
always
need
covering
to go
their
from their home
faces?
place,
Why are they?
it's
What are they
it's
trying
never
to hide?
pretty. And if there's war,
If
they
she
should
is
have
so
the right
white, I don't
to,
even need to listen to her
see
if she got this
some
thing on
place
her
where they're
face.
safe.
Some of them have said that they're economic migrants and the war is
They're
over.
crazy
They should
people.
Go back. What are your thoughts on that?
I want to listen to somebody normal. Why they are
when
all
they're
wearing
integrated in
masks?
this society, they have worked, they have started a family here. I think they should have the right to stay in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
And what is the group you guys represent on this side of the barriers here?
We present Antifa, anti-fascists. We are against them. and we fight for human rights, basic human rights. And
well, they're racist, they're almost fascist, they endorse fascist parties. We already had this in Germany and we don't really want that again. It really didn't work out for us.
It's not the same.
Like, this was completely destroyed and we kind of don't want
It's so much not the same because, God, they're like, it's like if you're a Jew, it's bad for you either way. The Antifa hate you, the right hate you. So it's all come down to like, if he's speaking about like Nazi Germany, well, I prefer to be on the side that's holding Israel flags. So they are not. So who is the real Nazi wing here?
Again. So you see parallels between this and Nazi Germany?
I could say the same on their...
of course, anti-Semitic, extremists. It all started kind of small, but I sadly don't think you can call that small anymore.
How many people?
As our counter says, it's 3,200 sort of.
Are you proud?
I'm happy, yeah. Okay. I'm happy with this, and I think it's going to be a good finish today. And for the new projects, it's already a good start.
What are your thoughts on Muslim immigrants that have come here to Germany?
With Muslims, my personal opinion, all is a question of quantity.
Okay.
Personally, I know I have Muslim friends, no problem.
Sure.
But it's a different culture, it's a different aspect of life, and especially with Islamization, it's in the quantity, it's becoming a real big problem. Look, I'm German. It used to be that you were German because your ancestors are German,
sure.
Right? So I was born in Belgium, and already 40 years ago, you could see the transformation of Brussels because of people from Morocco and Algeria, and you can see the transformation, and it's a different style of life.
Okay.
And so that for me was clear, and then that in Germany also it happened, especially after 2015, when Merkel didn't close the borders.
Well, they convey national and fascistic thoughts, want to split Germany into like ethnic Germans.
I see. They want an ethno state?
Yeah, more or less. You know, they're against Islamization, so it's also about religion, but it's mostly about skin color and heritage.
Is nationalism a bad thing?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
She said, if I had closed the border, because all the Secret Service and all the police, state police and so said, yes, we can close the border. She didn't want to have the bad pictures. Soldiers and police at the border with guns pointing at immigrants,
sure,
and saying, you don't come in. I would say in the USA, all over the place, New York Times, would have been, there comes again the Nazis.
Why do you think that is? Why have you guys been labeled fascists, neo-Nazis, that sort of thing?
Well, the short version is, this is the most easiest way to blame someone, a group of people, political party.
Okay.
It's, you're Nazi, you're out.
Sure.
That's it. That is what I said.
To compensate for their ancestors and being a Nazi and that sort of thing?
That is the core issue.
We should think of ourselves not just as Germans, we should think as Europeans.
Okay,
or as
global citizens.
Yeah, especially with like modern problems like climate change, we should think bigger than just national states.
The doses makes the poison. It's a question of quantity. As it's done right now, it doesn't work. If it's coming more and more majoritarian, you would have conflict.
Immigration itself is a good thing.
Okay.
I would say. You know, it gives a lot of opportunities to Germany, for example. A lot of different
Nobody got like
viewpoints.
a good example of like why it's a good thing. Like show me a real proof.
Are they integrating
you got
the
more
immigrants and
doctors
refugees
here.
that are coming here well right now?
Not very well, I would say.
As unmitigated mass migration, open borders, intrinsic religious differences, cultural differences, and the formation of a global monoculture seems to be at odds with cultures and national identities across Europe formed by distinct groups of people with shared histories spanning sometimes thousands of years. We must eventually
All the pictures here, they are not halal basically.
wonder why
So
humanity formed borders.
in few years from now, they will just this maybe. In 20 years, would not be allowed. Alcohol, naked ladies. Sorry, it's not halal. In 20 or 30 years, this could be banned. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.